Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, Aditolan in his truth, and to the few Akwatim, the sisters that learn and listen and learn in silence. To all of you, I say Shalom. I'm the brother Pathaka Math GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. And I'm going to entitle this one, Esau is a straight up liar, man. You know, he is a straight up liar, man. And this proves right here, it proves who these verses are talking about when it speaks of the liar, man. This is a straight up lie, man. And as you can see on the screen, it's politics, the independent, it says, is the source. It says, Trump says U.S. has already won Iran war while giving updated timeline. Which, yeah, that shit went from 4 days to 4 weeks to indefinite pretty much, So, because this war is nowhere near conclusion. I think he's recently said that the war is going to end very soon. This dude is bro. Anybody listening to these wicked ass demons, the spirit of the Lord is not with you, man. Of course we know the majority of the nation, is the Lord ain't with them, so they're following and they listening exactly to what these dudes are talking about, bro. No, America is a laughing stock right now, man. These dudes are clowns, man, straight clowns. This a freaking a three-ring circus, man. For real. So yeah, these are straight lies because Esau is a straight up liar, man. He's the devil, what the Bible speaks of, and devil means deceiver, man. He's a deceiver, the accuser of thy brethren, man. He's a devil, man, and you can't trust devils, man. Which the scriptures go into that, which I'm gonna bring that out, but real quick, I'm gonna read a little bit of this, and then we're gonna get into the scriptures. It says, Donald Trump claimed the U.S. has already won the Iran war, but stated he has not won enough, criticizing past presidents for lacking the courage to act sooner. He asserted that Iran intended to attack the entire Middle East and Israel, claiming Israel would have been wiped out. Trump reported that the U.S. military and Israeli defense forces, Salakia, successfully conducted epic fury operations over the past 9 days, which is a joke. He claimed the U.S. achieved major strides towards completing its military objective, including eliminating Iran's nuclear threat with Midnight Hammer. And I wanted to get to that part because that signifies exactly who the scriptures are talking about. And we're going to get that scripture in a sec. So remember that, the Midnight Hammer. It said Trump stated that every single force in Iran had been wiped out, and almost 50 Iranian naval ships were sunk, describing them as not meant to fight against the U.S. So this is a bunch of malarkey, man. A bunch of big bullshit nonsense, man. But real quick, let's deal with this Midnight Hammer real quick, because the scriptures say in Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Let's get that real quick. They call him that's the spirit, man. He called himself the Midnight Hammer. So let's get this real quick. This is Jeremiah 50, Salakia. Come on, man. Jeremiah the 50th chapter, and we're going to drop down to verse 23. Jeremiah 50 and verse 23. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? That's not a, come on, bro. The fact that they call themselves the Midnight Hammer, and the scriptures refer to them as the hammer of the whole earth, it lets you know exactly who the scriptures are talking about. Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations, which is exactly what it's becoming, man. Desolation. But hey, we're not there right now. This dude is being exposed. His shameful spewing is on his glory. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, all these things are gonna lead into that desolation, man. And these people are gonna be through, man. This nation, this kingdom, everything's gonna be through, man. So I thought that was very spiritual that they call themselves the Midnight Hammer, You know, and the scripture referred to them as the hammer of the earth, man. You know, proving this Bible is real, the Lord is real. You know what I'm saying? These prophecies are faithful and true. They're real and they're coming to pass, man. You know, these things are not accidents, man. You know? So hey man, liars, man, straight up. You know, so they claim they won a war. Okay, let's real quick. Let's watch this video, man. This is hilarious, man. These devils, man. I know it's gonna be gone. I'm gonna have to go back and get it. So real quick. Watch this right here, man.
In helicopters at night, like these ones.
Lock here. Let's start it. I want to put the disclaimer up. It's about 5 minutes long, so bear with me.
Let's hear more about the future strategy of the Americans and Israelis.
It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military. Finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders.
By finding and fixing the Iranian military base while flying during the day and night, he meant bombing an elementary school during the day and dropping millions of dollars worth bombs on 2D paintings of F-14 fighter jets and Mi-17 helicopters at night, like these ones. It's not even a spoof anymore. The powerful military of America and the settler colony wasted millions of dollars worth of arsenal on these anamorphic 2D paintings. And then they went to town claiming major military success. Someone asked the Twitter AI group about its authenticity, and its reply was in the affirmative.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Iran has to get the award for the most clever shit ever in war, bruh. These niggas drew airplanes on the ground knowing how the U.S. and Israel work, because they know they ain't gonna come with no cavalry and do it for real. They're gonna try to bomb them. These niggas drew pictures of planes on the ground, and the United States and Israel just blew like millions and millions of dollars on bombs
So America is through, man. They're a laughing stock. They're a laughing stock. So come on, man. For him to say that they won the war in Iran, dude, you were hitting drawings, man. How have you won a war hitting drawings? You know? So these devils are through, man. America is through this. This kingdom is over. They're a laughing stock. And these devils are lying. Stop listening to Trump, man. You know, the war is going to end very soon. He's just talking, man. He's just running his trap, man. And the majority of these people are listening, you know, when they're liars. And the scriptures tell you that they're liars. So let's get into these scriptures real quick. This is Psalms 58 and verse 3. And it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. So as soon as they come out the womb, they lying. Man, he's lying, man. He just wants some attention. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He lying, man. So they're liars, man. From day one, they're devils. A little devil gonna grow up to be a big devil. A little liar, deceiver, to grow up to be a big liar and deceiver. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, they're liars from the womb. They're born liars, man. They can't do anything to change that because it's how the Lord created them, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you got to Jake, wake the hell up, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop following and listening to these devils, man. You know, they're liars. This is John chapter 8. And we're going to drop down to verse 44. John 8 and 44, red letters, Yahushua speaking. It says, ye are of your father, the devil, which Yahushua was speaking to those wicked Jakes back then that was following those Romans, man, which proved that the Romans are Edomites, man. You know, they're devils, man. You know, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was, and 2/3 is in that spirit to this very day, man. He was a murderer from the beginning, you know, making them and who was in the beginning? Cain, man. Synonymous, man. You know, he was a murderer, which Cain killed his brother Abel, you know, which the Lord gave us Seth. Because they were trying to cut off the righteous line even back then from the beginning, man. And they still trying to do it to this very day, man. You know, which they're not going to. They're going to fail. But it says he was a liar from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So they're the father of lies, man. You know, going all the way back to Cain. What did Cain do when the Lord questioned him about his brother Abel? Am I my brother's keeper? You know, he lied and act like he didn't know what happened to Abel, which he was the one that put him to death, man. And the Lord had to tell him, the blood of your brother crieth up to me. You know what I'm saying? Roughly paraphrasing. You know, so yeah, they're liars, bro. You can't believe these demons, man. You know, let's get one in the Apocrypha real quick. Because, hey, the Lord tells us, you know, let me see if what is this? Not that. Where the hell did my, oh, okay, here it goes. Salakia. The Lord tells us, man, in the book of Sirach, the 12th chapter, you know, in verse 10, that we're not supposed to trust these devils, man. This is Ecclesiastes Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is a wicked dude. He's created to be the wicked, you know. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord made all things to himself, yea, even the wicked, for the day of evil. So the Lord made the wicked, you know. He created him that way. He created him wicked, you know, and gave the earth into his hand, pursuing to Job 9 and 24, man. They're the vessels of dishonor fitted to wrath and destruction, pursuing to Romans the 9th chapter, man. You know, so, hey, through, but never to be trusted. The Lord is telling you, don't trust. So why would you trust what this devil is saying, man? You know what I'm saying? Never trust thine enemy. The Edomites are the primary enemy of the Israelites, man. You know, to the point that they showed no mercy and they're not going to receive any mercy. They're the only neighboring city that's not promised any mercy, man, in the end times, you know. So why would you trust these devils, man? You know, it says, like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, which iron is guaranteed to rust. That's a guarantee. It's going to happen. It's going to rust, you know. So his wickedness is a guarantee. He's guaranteed wicked. Why would you follow that? Why would you listen to that? Why would you put your trust in that, which 2/3 of our people do, man? Because they're through. And that's why the Lord gonna eliminate the majority of our nation, man, pursuing the Zechariah 13th chapter and verse 8, man. It has to be done. It has to happen, man. You know, the Lord has no other. Look at this. Look at Satan, man. Just changed out of nowhere. What the hell? Satan is mad, man. This devil is mad, man. You know, but let's go back. I was done anyway, so let's go to the back to my other Bible, and we're gonna get a couple more, and then we're gonna get out of here. This is Job. Let me see, Job 13. Is it Job 13? Yeah, this is Job 13 and verse 4, and it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." So they forward lies, man. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're liars, man. All the scriptures that pretty much have been bringing out has been calling them liars, man. You know, Yahushua called them liars. You know, so you're not going to believe the Messiah, the Lord Himself. You know, in John 8 and 44, He called them liars straight out of His own mouth, man. You know, so why would you believe them over the Lord, man? You know, hey, Jay, the majority of our people are through, man. But it is what it is. Don't believe these devils, man. He say they won that war. Nah, man. Iran is not losing this war, man. They're winning. The U.S. is a laughing stock, man. A laughing stock, Salakia. You know, they are not winning this war, man. They're liars, man. So let's get one more. Let's get Nahum, the 3rd chapter and verse 1. This is Nahum 3 and 1. It says, "Woe, which is destruction to the bloody city," which is right here, America, and these Edomites, man. This is theirs, man. So woe, which is destruction to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, which the prey is us, the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negro descent, and of course the scattered seed. They may not come looking like the average Israelite, man. You know, we're the prey, you know, and we're still in the hands of these devils, man. You know, so they gonna pay for all of that. But it says it's full of lies and robbery, you know? Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me get one more. So yeah, these devils are liars, man. Let's get one more. It just came to me. Let's get Isaiah, because this is what's wrong, man. This is what's wrong right here. This is Isaiah 60 in verse 2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and His glory shall be seen upon thee." So that darkness, man, represents the lies and the deceptions. It's covered the earth. You know what I'm saying? And gross darkness to people. So, hey, man, it's even ignorant, man. That gross darkness, that ignorance, man. You know, the lies and deception. These people believe, man. 2/3 of Jake believe. They believe these devils. They believe in them, you know. So, yeah, man, but that darkness represents the lies, the deceptions, man. The wickedness, the evils, you know, and it's full of lies. We just read it. This is that bloody city, man. You know, in Nahum the 3rd chapter and verse 1. So yeah, man, these devils are liars. Don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we don't believe them. We trust in the Lord, man, and the Lord gives all the answers. And here they are. So yeah, Trump is a liar, man. Point blank, bottom line, period. Straight up. So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath Shah Dawadah. Shalom.